Hello, hi, this is Khairul from Ice Chat. Innovation, change, and entrepreneurship. See you in a few minutes.
I'm here with Oleg Konovalov, number one influential coach in the world in the area of social media.
And why leaders need to be visionary in the post-pandemic situation like now?
The greatness of your success is much depends on the greatness of pandemic didn't make a difference. It's revealed a difference between true leaders and managers. And we are really good at finding problems. And if we're looking for the problems, we'll find them. Visionary leadership it goes beyond immediacy. It's about finding solutions, which is very, very different. So visionary CEO, it's a gem. It's a gem for people, for himself. COVID helped us to realize this, that we can't use old tools and practices to create the future. No one could build something on empty promises. Usually we say that we are making decisions, but the truth is we're about making a choice. And to do things, to do something which is challenging is always a decision. And not many people are good at it. And it's always great to see somebody coming for such conversations, because this is about a decision, or about to make a decision to live differently or to do something differently, which is incredible. So I really
Hello.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam warahmatullahi.
All right, good. So far, right on time. All right, good. Let me just clear this. I call you in 10 seconds, yeah?
Okay, alright.
All right, Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon. This is Cairo, live from Bangi, Malaysia. Ice Chat, Innovation, Change, and Entrepreneurship. Helping someone getting their feet is good economics. Today, I have someone very special, a social entrepreneur, Noor Shahiwan. Assalamualaikum, Noor Shahiwan.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
All
wabarakatuh.
right, thanks for joining us today. Today our topic is the economics of solar energy opportunities and obstacles. Right, as we know that Shahiwan is the founder and also the CEO of Suncrox Solar, Malaysian-owned solar and energy company. Right, Shahiwan, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and Suncrox? What do you do?
Alright, so I founded Suncrox Solar back in 2011, where I was participating in this program called Symbiosis under
Mm,
Malaysian Technology Development Corporation.
right.
So I'm chosen one of the founder to
Mm-hmm.
commercialize technology from local university, which was University
Mm,
Kebangsaan Malaysia. And
right.
then fast forward 2015, we realized we are also social enterprise,
Mm,
because one of our objective is to increase the electrification rate for people who's living without electricity. And
mm,
now fast forward 2020, we have completed more than 100 projects in 5 countries: Malaysia, Myanmar,
right.
Philippines, Indonesia, and Thailand,
Right.
and consultation project in Mongolia. And we have
Right.
served 1,300 beneficiaries with our solar
Right.
energy solution.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly, as part of this interview, I do a little bit of research about
Yeah,
Suncrox and yourself, and I noticed
yeah,
there's a Suncrox Indonesia, there's Suncrox Thailand.
yes,
Uh, I mean, you have a lot of footprints
yeah,
around the Asian region, kan? So
yep,
can you tell us more a little bit about? I mean, and you are a social entrepreneur. You mentioned just now. So
yep,
what is a social entrepreneur or essential enterprise? No, in for
yep.
Suncrox?
Okay. So for me, of course, you can get the definition by books lah, of course, from the Prof Yunus and whatnot. But for
Mm,
me, for you to run a social enterprise, you must have two objectives. Number one, of course, will be the financial objective. You must be financially sustainable. Then the second will be your social objective of what is the cause that you want to fight for. So for us, is the electrification rate. So whenever we have our commercial approach, we will make sure we can solve our objective for social as well. So that would be my
right.
definition of social enterprise.
Right. And what's the difference? Because I noticed that you mentioned about Sankro Solar focusing on the off-grid
Okay.
communities, right? Why that is your main focus right now?
So basically, solar energy industry, they are divided into two. One is
Mhm.
grid connected or grid tie. Grid connected is solar energy system being contributed back to the grid. So if you look, solar farm, big buildings, warehouse, factory with solar panel on top, that is grid connected system. But there's
Mhm.
another section, it's called off grid. Off grid mainly for places without electricity, means that there's no grid, or easier way in Malaysia, there's no TMB lah. So
Mm.
that is our focus. So most of our commercial customer will be from agriculture, resorts, vehicles like food truck, ambulance and whatnot, and
Mm.
then also rural application, including for social as well.
Right. There's a perception. Now I did some online research as well.
Yeah.
There's perception that solar is expensive. Meant to install. What's your thought? And you're doing it as a social enterprise. That's
Yeah.
interesting, actually. Share with us.
So the definition of expensive or saving also is very subjective.
Mm.
If you look for, like normal house application, house with TNB, the
Mm.
payback period will be 7 years and above.
Mhm.
So if you are looking for financial return less than 7 years, definitely you will say that is expensive. Okay, but then if you
Mm.
compare to off-grid application, I give example, if they run on generator, diesel generator, the
Mm.
cost for them to run to get 1 kWh will be 1 ringgit 50 cent to 2 ringgit 50 cent. But if you use
Mm.
solar, it will be 1 ringgit to 1 ringgit 20 cent. So it's not
I see.
expensive compared to generator. So it will be different definition for different application. If it's off
Right.
grid,
Right.
then definitely solar will make sense. Very practical and economical.
Okay, all right. I think that's explanation is good because now I have a more understanding why off-grid is more economical because
Yes,
now they have an
yes,
access and it is cheaper
yes.
to generate
Yeah.
compared
The bigger
to.
cost for upgrade will be logistics. So
Mm,
even though you buy diesel same price, two ringgit plus, but then
mm,
the cost for you to bring the diesel to your place, the places
right.
we are talking about, like up in the mountains, in the
Yeah.
islands, you need to
Yeah.
cross river, valley,
Yes.
whatnot. So the cost of logistics is nightmare lah.
Right. So, can you share with us also the efficiency currently of for solar? What's the percentage like, and what's the latest technology available? Probably about
Okay.
Suncrox as well.
All right. So in talking efficiency, maybe I'm assuming that you are talking about the solar panel efficiency.
Solar panel
Uh,
efficiency, yes.
yeah, but nowadays the efficiency easily more than 20% lah. So many development, and many people talk to me, say NASA have achieved, I don't know, 20 plus or whatever, very high.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you use in your project? But we're
Yeah.
talking about commercial practical application. And
Mm.
one thing we must know that efficiency is a number that we get in the lab. So it's a very
Mm.
controlled environment,
Mm.
and it's really crazy out there if you put in the real actual application. You're talking about
Right.
Malaysia, right? You can have very good sunlight until 10, 11, you get very heavy rain, then cloudy,
Mm.
then you can get sun again. So,
Yeah.
and the temperature factor as well. The efficiency is measured at temperature 25 degrees Celsius, which is for
Mm.
Malaysia mostly impossible for you to get 25 degrees Celsius with sunlight.
Oh,
So,
what's Malaysia figure then? If it's not 25,
30 plus.
30
Yeah,
plus.
yeah,
Okay.
but
All
then
right.
there is air temperature. If you measure the surface temperature of the solar panel, it can be up to 60 plus. If you don't wear glove
Ah.
and whatnot, you touch
Wow.
the solar panel, your
Panel.
hand will be get red lah. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you got
Right. Right.
inflammation.
Okay. Right.
Yeah,
So, I mean, Suncrox is also have footprints outside Malaysia. So, compare Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia. Can you
alright,
give us some landscape
alright.
comparison, please?
Since we are focusing in off-grid,
Mm.
Malaysia is not really it's not that ideal for our market, because Malaysian electrification rate will be up to 98% to 100%. So we're looking for countries with low electrification rate, specifically in ASEAN will be Myanmar and also Indonesia. Last time back in 2015, Myanmar was like 50 to 60%. So that will be our ideal customer. But then
I
back in
see.
Malaysia, we have changed our market segment towards
Mhm.
agriculture. So farm
Okay.
owners, land owners, so they don't have to pay upfront to get access to the grid. Sometimes they pay, 10 of thousands ringgit. Might as well you just buy solar and then you don't have to pay bill, right? So that will be our
Ah.
ideal customer, yeah.
Right. Okay. Talking about numbers now. I mean, if there is can someone like me just have a house approach Suncrox to install solar, or is there such a special group you're talking about?
Yeah, you can just approach, but first thing first, we need to determine what type of system that you need. So mostly for house with access to TNB, to grid, the best system right now is net energy metering. It's called, or
NAM.
the short name NEM.
Mm-mm.
But then we need also to see your bill, monthly bill average, whether it
Mm-mm.
worth it or not, and then the physical condition of your house lah. I mean, like in terms of angle, roof space and whatnot. But then, like I said lah, the return will be 7 years. So if you're looking purely for financial return, then NEM is not the right choice lah. You must have
Right.
the green concern, green factor, environmental contribution and whatnot.
Right.
Then it makes sense for you to use NEM.
Right. Like what is the upfront capital you're talking about? Let's say for install solar for normal house.
Typically for house, if you want to save around 200 ringgit per month, the initial capital will be 20,000.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
And
like
and
that.
so I mean the customer pay upfront 20,000, or there's a scheme.
For us, we don't have the financial facility. But
Okay.
I think there are some big companies that offer leasing and profit sharing model, I think. But the thing
Ah.
with house, the scale is not that big. Like 3 kilowatt, 4 kilowatt, 5 kilowatt is very. If you offer financial facility, it will be very hard to achieve that scale. Compared to industrial commercial customer where you put like hundreds of kilowatts or even 1 megawatt, 2 megawatt, that
Yeah.
would be very attractive for financier to finance that project.
Right.
So
So
yeah,
so what happened to the excess of the energy generated? Let's say for the house, they only
uh,
use certain kilowatt and they have excess. What's gonna happen to that?
that's the importance of NEM. So let's say during day
Mm.
you go to work, right? So there's nobody
Mm-mm.
using the house, but solar is producing power during that time. So all this
Mm.
power will be contributed back to the grid, and then
Mm.
that contribution will be counted as credit, which
From
you
TMB, is it?
for TMB. You
All
won't get
right.
cash for that credit, but then for your
Right.
next bill, they will deduct that credit from your bill. So instead, let's
Ah.
say your monthly bill is around 300 ringgit. Now you have
Right.
4 kilowatt system. Instead of paying
Right.
300, you just pay 100 ringgit.
Ah.
Deduct
Okay.
200 ringgit. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty
Yep.
cool, I guess. Okay. Okay, now let's talk about some obstacles. What do you see as obstacles for solar to grow in Malaysia?
Solar per se as an industry, should say the price lah. The pain is still not there. Relatively, Malaysians are still paying lower price for electricity in the region and of course in the world. But then when the price start increase, the tariff start increase, then the market will grow organically. And then the
Right.
second thing, the industries are chasing over numbers. They're looking for big projects. Sometimes the big projects are not that practical or feasible, but then as long as they got the numbers. So I give you an example. If you make a 50 megawatt solar farm, you need like very big piece of land. It's like
Yeah.
a small district already. So, but then we have a lot of unutilized roof in
Right.
Malaysia. And
Right.
then if you put on the roof, you can directly inject the power directly to the building. If you do solar farm, you need to do the grid to connect to the we call it PMU, pencawang masuk utama. So many things. But then of course lah, the small project, the numbers are not that attractive lah. When people say how many megawatts that you put, oh no lah, only few hundreds. Compared to the solar farm, right? Oh, we got 50 megawatt here, we got 100 megawatt here. So the numbers
Right.
lah. And then don't forget to tell that our land is very fertile. At very least you can plant oil palm, rubber, or
Yeah.
any plant you can plant in our land. So
Land.
our land is not like in the desert. There's nothing you can do
Right.
in the desert, right? So compared, I really want to see
Yeah.
a full study. Let's say like 100 acres of land being used for oil palm and another 100 acres for solar farm. What would be the comparison?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you in this, Shahiwan. I'm with you in this. I actually feel that opening a large solar farm is unproductive or unsustainable for a very long time. Just like you do a dam. I wouldn't say against, but I think we have an alternative like you say. Buildings, even highways. We have big highways and it just open like that. And I'm more into what you said just now. Use the roof, use the building to do the generation can be done by the customer themselves.
Yes.
I'm with you in this. I totally agree. And okay, so now as a social entrepreneur, right? I mean, what makes you said earlier on you started a company and then there is fast forward. You have one checkpoint where you transform your company to social enterprise. What make you make that change actually?
But actually we already started the social enterprise concept before 2015, but we didn't realize because every time we do commercial project, we will follow up with social project. So it's just like every time we got one paid customer, then we're gonna choose another social initiative. But then back in 2015, we went into the program. They said our model is actually cross subsidization, means that you use your revenue from commercial for your social project. It is very much similar to Tom's fashion brand. Do you know the Tom's brand? Where you buy
Tom's
a pair
brand.
of shoes, they will donate another pair to people who need it.
Yeah. Okay.
So since then we know we got the numbers lah. Every 1 kilowatt peak of commercial project that we install, we will make sure there will be 10 beneficiaries on the social side to get our fully subsidized solar energy solution.
Alright, so it's 1-to-1 kind of thing, is it?
Yeah, it's actually 1-to-1 or 1-to-10 lah. But then the numbers is very the definition itself.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. So I could see that you are still very young. So what do you see as a future for Suncrox and for yourself as a social entrepreneur and social enterprise?
All this while we are doing one-off projects. I mean that customer pay, then we install, and then we completed the project. But we are looking forward for us to become energy provider. In a way, we become smaller TMB lah.
Yeah.
So
I think you are one of those who want to have the open energy happen.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we install the solar and whatnot. We don't sell the component per se, the parts. We sell the energy. But then for us, in order for us to do that, we need a lot of very strong financial capital backup. So it's all about numbers game. We cannot achieve sustainability by having 100. We must have at least 500 customers. So it's really money game lah there.
Right. So I mean let's grow that topic, right? So if you want to go this, you plan to sell to another energy provider, or you plan to go retail direct to the customer?
We go to the customer. We will choose the village. Currently we have islands, Sabah and Sarawak, or we can go internally rural in Peninsula, mostly Orang Asli village. The thing is, they are paying some amount of money every night to get power, regardless lah, by candle or by lantern or by generator. I give example, family in Sandakan, they are paying like every 3 days they need to pay 10 ringgit. They are pulling the money to buy the diesel or petrol for the genset. So it's a common, it's a common generator. So if you look, actually they are paying like 100 ringgit already, 150 ringgit. Same like us paying for electricity in the city, right? That is not including the cost to buy the generator, to maintain the generator and whatnot, and the downtime as well. So actually they do have the purchasing power to pay for the power as well.
Yes, okay. Right. I mean, I totally with you when you say you wanted to go to retail energy provider. Are you also looking to maybe innovate certain materials? Because I noticed in your profile on LinkedIn, you mentioned a certain pattern that you have, right? Can you share with us a bit on that?
So essentially pattern, we are working together with my partner. His name is Paul. Mostly being done by him. I'm just the one who being testing it on the ground. So we have 2 patent pending in solar charge controller and also battery, but it's still long way to go. And then for me, I'm busy doing installation. You know lah, these are under R&D. So for R&D, you need a lot of money to validate. Even for the patent as well, we are having tough time to pay for to open the file and whatnot. So, but then we are still working it, just like 10 to 20% of our focus to finish the patent. Yep.
Right. So, what would be something that you would advise or give tips to young young youth or young graduates?
It is the right time for them because they are almost commitment free. Commitment free means that they don't have house to pay, car to pay, family to feed and whatnot. So it's the time for them to take the risk and to go and learn. So but then my concern right now, all the startup thingy become trend, become hype thingy. So that will be my concern. At the end of the day, you must make the business work lah. You must make money lah in easy way to translate, right? So don't fall for the for the trend and the hype. You know, doing everything just to get the mileage, but it's not a business. For me, I would say my startup now has become a business. It's no longer a startup because I sustained it for quite a long time, 10 years, and then we are not looking for phases like startups anymore. We just want to make a good, solid business. So you know the momentum is getting slower. We are more busy setting up our roots than growing our trees. So that will be the definition of what I say.
Okay.
So, like, to go as big as possible, but then the roots is actually only one. Once the roots, somebody shake the root, and then the whole thing collapse.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure you heard about some of the startups, situation or mishaps around the world. So for Suncrox itself, are you looking for funding, or what are you looking at the next 2 years?
Yeah, we are always open for funding, but of course the best choice for us would be strategic funding. Is that only money or fund? We need their connection and their market as well. So even though we are still not even Series A completed for Suncrox, is mostly being owned by me and the angels.
Okay, all right. So for yourself, Shahiwan, right? So what next for you? You have grown the business the last 10 years. You've seen the opportunities. You have some footprints, and you desire to become an energy player, right? But for yourself, what's in store for you?
I'm really looking for opportunity to be either me or the company to be bought over by big companies. So all this while I've gone through the path, doing it all alone. So I want to see what kind of impact that I can make if I were to be from a bigger organization or bigger companies. So there is that kind of opportunity. It's not only companies, even UN and whatnot. So I really want to see with limited resources right now, I can achieve the amount of beneficiaries or whatnot. I really excited to see what kind of impact that I can achieve with bigger organization, with a lot of resources, manpower, logistics and whatnot. So that would be my personal objective.
Right. So let's say the company acquire you. So what would be the role you want to play? You want to still in the business, or you want to do something else?
I still want to do something with energy because I still believe that the opportunity is still there. Or if it's not energy, then it will be infra and also social. Community development.
Okay, all right, great. No, I think it's very inspiring. So I take more than I should your time now. And thank you so much. And before I forget, recently you had some situation. There was in where's the post? Can you share with me about the incident? Yeah.
So they have this pala air, big current flow of water from upstream in Pos Lenjang. Pos Lenjang is located in Kuala Lipis. The nearest town will be Sungai Koyan. Sungai Koyan. 2 hours drive from KL, and then another 2 hours off-road drive to the Pos Lenjang. So Pos Lenjang is the second last post before Pos Pitong. So between Pos Lenjang and half of Pos Lenjang, the connection totally disconnected due to this, we can call it like big flood. So the road access being cut off by the river. The road become river actually now. So all big rocks and all those we call it old trunk or old logs from the timber activity previously, all on the road. So the road is totally inaccessible. So now the villagers are making access just for motorcycle, but then also very troublesome. You need.
But how do you get out? You were there last week. I saw you. How do you get out from there?
No, we went only entered to the last point before it is
Ah.
connected. So we bring the cooked food, cooked meal for them, 700
Mm.
packs. So we
Ah.
stop at the last point that we can get as far as possible. Then we ask
Okay.
the villagers to come down to get the food.
I see.
And then yesterday the same team went in for korban. They bring
Mm.
the two cows and one goat. And
Mm.
then have another program on the 14 and 15 and 16. It was planned before this disaster. We want to make a small carnival day lah, Sukan Rakyat and whatnot, right? So we'll be discussing whether we want to proceed or not. But then when we went there, the villagers are still traumatized. So I
Right.
believe carnival kind of thing is good to cheer them up again, right? So we will continue with that program on the 14, 15 and 16.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna get participation as well from actually through LinkedIn as well. They're gonna bring it's still from the medical team, so they're gonna bring goodies and also medical attention. Especially we ask them to bring the psychological part of the medical. So
I
hopefully
see.
can do something lah on that.
Yeah.
Case.
On the trauma side. I mean, I could see you are enjoying this, kan? I think. I saw you on LinkedIn there, and now you are back. I think you're in the
Yeah.
office or somewhere.
Yeah,
Then you are
in my
going
house.
your house, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
now then you're going back again. And I've been seeing you in LinkedIn some videos. I
Yeah.
think you're enjoying this, right? I mean, what's your
Yeah.
view?
I really like going to the new place, right? For installation, for social and thingy, learning and
Right.
whatnot. It keeps you're getting more perspective and getting more, I should say like experience lah. So
Right.
yeah, so it makes you more mature, I should say.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, just a shout out to anyone who's listening here. We have a number of people listening. This is Shahiwan, a social entrepreneur from Suncrox Solar, and part of the thing he did in the post Lenjang, he probably looked for some help, assistance. You can reach out to him for this Orang Asli. It was terrible. I could see all the tractors, all this thing tumble out because of
Yeah.
this timber log, coming down from the upstream. It was really bad, right? So Shahiwan, thank you so much for contributing and inspiring a lot of people on Suncrox Solar. Of course, Suncrox Solar is a energy of the future, and
Yep.
social entrepreneurship also a business model that going to be more sustainable, for in the future. In fact, now, right? So with that, thank you so much. See you again
Thank you.
next
My
round.
pleasure.
Alright, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
See you. Bye bye. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Shahiwan Ismail from Suncrox Solar. Right. This is very very inspiring guy, and he started a company called Suncrox Solar in partnership with one of the researchers from UKM, together with MTDC, Malaysia Technology Development Corporation. He mentioned just now in one of the program called Symbiosis. So he worked on that research and boom, and using a model of social entrepreneurship and grow until today. It's been almost like 10 years according to him. And solar is something that is heavily promoted here in the country, but I think the take-up rate is still small. So that's why I thought that I wanted to bring him and share what are some obstacles and opportunities, right? As you could see that if you're looking for a payback period or having a solar up in your roof, you're looking about 7, 8 or 9 years of payback period. Yeah. So, and if you are a big building, you own a building or you own some a big space where you can use your roof to put in the solar panel, you can look for more or faster return, right? So definitely money is one thing, financial, but you also must remember solar helps the environment. Solar also helps the community, particularly compared to have a large solar farm. This could be another alternative choice. And for any extra energy you generated from your own little roof can be sell back or credited back to TNB. And one-to-one, according to NAM scheme right now, net energy metering is a one-to-one, right? So with that, I just like to do a little bit of summary from Suncrox. Suncrox is already a business, and he mentioned about youth can try to become an entrepreneur. Don't just fall for the hype of or startup. Then just look for the money. And Suncrox also looking for strategic funding and attractive to them. And he's also looking to be acquired someday by big energy company. Who never knows, right? It could be a local company, it could be international company. And Shahiwan is someone who has very strong vision, because the acquisition to him will be very interesting, because he wanted to work on either grow more of the youth, grow more, or maybe another business in infrastructure, because it seems like very promising young man and into entrepreneurship. So with that, thank you so much. It's me, Cairo, and big applause to Shahiwan. And with that, thank you so much. Ice Chat today. We have someone special next week. Ice Chat, someone special talking about humanity. Who is that person? I'll look forward to tell you about it. I don't have more details now, but something along those lines. So today, this is going to be the only session for the week, because I'm tied up this week. I look forward to run the session next week, and I just can tell you a confirmation of two international speakers. One is on innovation, another on data. International speakers, top notch. You Google them, you'll be able to find them. But I can reserve this as something special to announce, not today, maybe next week or the week after next. I'm currently looking for a suitable date to get them on board to Ice Chat. International speakers, right? So with that, thank you so much. Thank you so much for stay tuning in Ice Chat. Innovation, change, and entrepreneurship. Helping someone get back on their feet is good economics. Help someone, stay inspiring, stay healthy. Bye bye.